So what I have for you guys today is going to be some Scrim breakdowns. I'm going to kind of give you my analysis of what's going on in the Scrim, kind of break down the logic behind some of the decision making. And the way that Scrims work as a 3v3, it kind of mimics the final round. So hopefully you can use a lot of this logic to bring it into a World Tour in order to win more final rounds. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be very curious about where do these Scrims happen? How do I get into some of these pugs or whatever? So I'm going to leave a link down in the description to the Discord that I use for pugs. There are some other ones. A lot of them is just kind of like you got to know people. But I do want to mention that this Discord is much more exclusive. If you get kicked out, it might just be because you don't really meet the requirements. They are pretty strict here in order to filter out and make sure that only good players end up here. You can either get vouched in. Unfortunately, I will not be vouching for any viewers. Or if you have a good enough rank, you can go through a trial phase where you can play in some of these pugs, and based on your performance, people will vote to either kick you out or to keep you in. So I just want to say sorry to a lot of the people that more than likely are not going to make it in. But I thought I would just kind of give you guys a link since I know a lot of you guys have been curious about it. I also want to break down some of the meta that you're going to be seeing in these scrims. So when it comes to team compositions, the best one at the moment seems to be heavy and double medium, simply because double heavy is banned in scrims and it is banned in most tournaments. So that is why we don't use any of the double heavy, even though double heavy would definitely be the best for something like World Tour. Heavy, medium, and light is also pretty good. There are less teams that use it than there are teams that use double medium. You'll see in these videos, we do run an HML comp. I am the light player, so you're going to get the light perspective here. And when it comes to builds for light, across the board, every single person I know that plays in scrims uses the exact same loadout of XP, stun, gateway, and glitch with cloak. For medium, it is always heal beam. If there is two mediums, sometimes the second one brings dematerializer. Defib on every loadout, jump pad on pretty much every medium, and then the third one can kind of be up to personal preference, but typically it is between APS and glitch trap. Some people do run zipline. For the weapon, you actually do have a lot more freedom here. The Model 1887 seems to be really strong right now. A lot of people are using that, but the AKM and the FCAR are also seeing some play, and in rare cases, the FAMAS. For heavy, you're going to see a lot of mesh shield, sometimes bringing in the winch. For weapon, across the board, the SA-12 dominates. I haven't seen anything else. RPG on every single heavy, dome shield as well. For the third gadget, it's most of the time C4. The odd time I do see barricade, and you're basically not going to be seeing any other loadouts in scrims and in high elo pugs and tournaments. But anyway, I want to get into some of the gameplay and break down some of the decision making that my team is making, and hopefully this can help you in winning your final rounds. So I want to start with a clip where we are kind of on the back end here. You can see both my teammates are dead, and you see that I don't go in to just instantly fight. I try to reset. I grab the body, go back, heal, and then I'm going in to try to get the other body. Basically at this point, our goal is to try to like be all alive, like just kind of get ready for the fight ahead, rather than a lot of people who just, you know, end up committing to the fight and dying. In the final round, you really want to stay alive. That's why you try to keep a lot of the coins throughout the tournament so that you can use your coins for the final round. In scrims, it's actually an infinite amount of respawns, and they are a little bit quicker because it's effectively quick play. Playing for your coins and reviving your teammates are going to be really important here. So you can see that they ended up plugging, and so we now know that they're a little bit split, so we can take this fight as the 2v2. So me and Kip are able to get these kills, and we know that there's only one left. Strafes being able to respawn, come for the revive, and now we know that we are in a 2v3 with the safety net to res. They also have the cash out in their possession. This makes this a really good time to just go for the point and start to steal. That way we can end up having the tempo of the fight. If we just chase this light around forever, there's a good chance that they just end up getting the revives, coining, and winning that fight. So from here, we're just trying to apply pressure. You'll see before the steal goes through, I put a gateway. That way we can play off-site, and this is a good way to stall time. So you're going to see us find a safe spot where they don't know where we are, and we're just going to wait it out because I have a gateway right above. That way when they start to go for the steal, we can drop the gateway, and then we drop down on them. This makes it a lot easier. Before I go in, I do throw some glitches through the portal. However, I should not have thrown both. Realistically, I should only throw one and then save the other one for the fight. That way it is up in case they use a dome or if both of the glitches miss. But this is just a good way to start the fight for your team, because if it hits, it's an extremely safe glitch to hit. Now you see they're going to have to kind of look around for us, and this means that we end up getting the jump on them. This is like an extremely important tactic that a lot of people need to start utilizing a lot more, is just sort of baiting the steal. If you wait for them to go for the steal, then you jump on them then you have a much better chance of winning that fight. Whereas if we were to take them head on, there's more of a 50-50 in that scenario. Being the initiators where you know where they are and they don't know where you are is going to give you a higher chance of winning. Keep in mind, as the team that needs to steal, it is also important to bait them out so you can get that intel. It's about having an escape route or a plan in order to counter the inevitable push. Now here's a good example of defending a cash out. So you see the first thing we do is I set up my gateway. I run to high ground with my teammate, and Kip is going to be following, so we are all together. We're going to be pushing up here after we get a little bit of intel so we can apply a little bit of pressure. And the first thing that we're going to see here is a jump pad. Now this is a pre-planned jump pad, assuming that they're just going to go for the steal. Now I want you to watch what happens right here. As you can see, Lycommit actually threw a glitch grenade to try to counter my gateway. Now that we know that they are aware of this gateway, it's kind of important that I don't just use it so hastily. Because they are aware of it, there's a good chance that they're going to be looking at it in times where I drop it. So instead, we apply pressure from the way that they just came in by taking this jump pad, which they weren't expecting, being able to get off a bunch of damage, and then pushing them here. Now, unfortunately, here we did not apply enough pressure, and we kind of let them reset. As you can see, they're basically all full HP, and now they have a building to fight in. So from here, we're just trying to continue to apply the pressure. But realistically, we should have been applying even more pressure and a lot more aggressively. They shouldn't have been able to get that defib off for free, and I'm able to finish up the fight. This next one, I just kind of want to explain Light's positioning. You're going to see both Lycommit and I have very similar positioning, which is just offset from our team. You can see Kip and Strafes on the building to my left, and I'm on the building to the right. You can also see Lycommit here on one building while his two teammates are pushing my two teammates. This is really important. Your light should not be directly with the team. I know tons of people will always complain about how their light is never with their team. They're always just positioning alone. It's really important that you understand that lights should not be directly on the team. And you can see here with two good teams, neither the light is directly on their team. I push back to my team when there is an opportunity to do so. Now you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get my team to the point quickly with a gateway. And right after this, I'm instantly going into a scouting position, which means pushing up, expecting where they're going to spawn, and then trying to scout out and find them, which I end up scouting and finding here. Now I instantly start to retreat back to my team so that they can't capitalize on any mispositioning on our end. And then from here, I'm just going to start getting some poke damage and trying to harass them a little bit. That way we can waste some of the shields, some of the heals before the fight, and try to get Lycommit down a little bit. The jump pad that is placed here is so that we can counter pad. There is going to be a very good chance that they gateway or jump pad in order to take this fight. So we are pre-placing a pad so that we can escape in order to not get jump pad RPG'd on. And I am going to be jumping away from my team and hoping that my medium and my heavy stick together. That way I can again play off of them. So you can see they end up grouping up quickly after Kip jumps over here. And now I'm on the side being able to put in a bunch of damage while my team just applies a bunch of pressure up front. And it makes it a lot easier for us to clean up the fight. And I save my stun so that we can pick the last player rather than entering with it where it might not have as much of an effect. I'm going to let this next one play out with our commentary over it. That way you guys can kind of get an understanding of how to apply pressure when needed. In this clip, you're going to see us play quite defensively, and we're going to make sure that we are all together. When there is a moment where we can capitalize on their weaknesses, we go in, and you will be able to see that through the comms.
They might come to this wall. They're gonna open it, maybe.
One contestant doesn't seem to like rigid structures.
Back up to
Wonder
this
how much will stand when they're done.
Okay.
Oh, over here. On the little
yeah. Get line.
Reloading. Glitch grenade out.
There's focus fight. There's focus.
Here, I'm putting the gateway there if you want to grab it.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm grabbing.
Wrapping left. Medium
The
top.
live wire swooped up a cash box.
Stun the heavy, stun the heavy. Go, go, go. Go in, go in, go in, go in, go in.
We've got our first elimination, Scotty. Talk about making a
Focus other medium.
our sponsors.
Boy, oh boy, are we in
Medium's
for a
2 bar.
treat today.
And that's just the start.
There we go. I'm going to give you guys another clip where I just show the commentary because I think it's really important to see sort of the thought process that goes into it and the communication that leads up to certain plays. This is going to be about when we get wiped and we are trying to set up a defense before they even bring the cash box to the cash out.
Let's just go up. We have
What if
A.
we played outside of A?
Like back here on ping.
Yeah,
Nah,
but like I can set up a goo and we can just sit like outside the window.
Okay.
Like this. See what I mean?
The retro swooped up a cash box.
Is it too bait? Is the
Gateway 1 out.
I have a gateway above point.
they're gonna hear that?
Yeah, I know, but I want them to look for that.
Okay.
And then we climb out of this window. That is so creepy looking inside of your face. These only last like a minute and a half. I think they're just looking for us. They've used jump pad. I think we go in and get ready to jump pad.
I got mine
Yeah.
back up now.
You guys make the comm when you guys want to go in. I'm not placing
Okay.
gateway yet. Just climb in.
We got time.
Well, Goo's gonna disappear soon.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Pad.
A totally tubular play.
Medium alone.
Yeah, ASAP.
I got you, yo. Got you, yo.
Blitz grenade.
Just medium and glove.
Three and their history.
Up in the air, up in the air.
Multiple eliminations.
There, go.
Someone from the live wires is making it look easy.
Good shot.
There we go. Good shit. In this clip, you're going to see me end up going up above the stairs. I'm going to ping to my teammates that this is where you guys should be holding. And then I throw a gateway above and then go into a scouting role. This is kind of a very similar rotation that you're going to see a lot. Is basically throwing gateway, going to scout, throwing gateway, going to scout. And then once you spot them, it's about kind of finding a position to fall back to. If they end up knowing where you are and they start shooting you, you can use the gateway like you see here in order to push back, and they will not expect this, right? They are pushed up thinking, oh, we are in a 3v2 push and I am on the flank hitting glitches, which makes this a lot easier for me. Ideally in a fight, you want them to be focusing your heavy first so that you can be the one to flank and get some damage from behind. In this clip, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about positioning, especially as a light. So you're going to see here, I start off by taking a lot of damage as I'm approaching. And then what I'm going to do is try to get an opening for my team with the stun so that I can just kind of leave. I'm not really there to commit to the fight. And once I am very low, you're going to see me just kind of rotate. So instead of just hiding away, waiting for your HP to regen, reposition. Over and over and over again, as a light, you should be repositioning in the middle of the fight. So I now know that they know where I am behind them, being able to get a kill. And then after this, I decide to continuously reposition. So I basically just did like a full rotation around the building in the one fight. And I did it during down times where I needed to regen or reload. In this clip, we're going to be looking at finding isolated targets, taking advantage of that, which you're going to see right here where I notice one person is lagging behind. We get the stun, insta-kill, and then from here it's about applying pressure. However, if the team does retreat, we can instantly just go back and apply pressure by stealing. And then we're going to be talking about rotations and stalling for the point. You don't have to be right on point defending, and if they start stealing, being able to get there quickly is important, but you don't have to be directly on it, and you can do stuff like gateway, zipline, or even jump pad in order to get back to point. I'm also going to rewind this a little bit so you guys can watch Kip and what he does while I'm stealing. He uses the glitch barrel to both knock over the cash out along with disabling their C4 so that he can then shoot it, and this means that they don't pop it off and end up killing us with the explosion. The team damage from exploding it himself means that we don't take any damage. I'm going to play the comms out here so you guys can see how rotating happens and how you just need to think about it on the fly and react to it. They're just below. We can come here.
This way we need to rotate. We need to rotate.
Can't go through there.
I have a jump pad. Or I mean a gateway.
Yeah, back up here. Then come. Then come in here.
Going over there.
I have a gateway ready. It goes right above the big point. Actually, we could probably just peek from here. Oh no, gateway. They're looking over.
Yeah. I fell all the way. I'm coming over. Hey, took TP alone. 3 of them.
One's on it. One's on
point.
it.
Go. Hey, back upstairs.
Hey, we play point. It's almost finished.
Oh, we're good. Medium, one shot.
There we go. Whew. Well done. See, that was a really good IGL there. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed these clips of some scrims with my analysis and breakdown of what's going on. I want to thank my members as well. Please consider subscribing if you're not already. Do all the YouTube stuffs, and I will see you in the finals.